most common thing that people will get when they travel. It just ruins your trip, you know. 30 to 70% of travelers will get travelers diarrhea. And it used to be said that if you just boil it, you peel it, forget about it, you're okay. It turns out that that doesn't always work. Bacterial pathogens are the predominant risk. Most common is enterotoxigenic E. coli, ETEC, and there's an associated syndrome called HUS, which I actually did see somebody with at a local hospital here. She had to be hospitalized and treated with additional platelets and hemodialysis. It was a total mess. She made it out okay. I think she got it eating at some buffet. So obviously it's spread from fecal oral. People are just basically not doing hygienic manners that they need to be doing when they prepare food. The high-risk areas are not here, but it happens. Asia, the Middle East, Africa, Mexico, Central and South America. In general, they just don't have, this is just a map form of that, the refrigeration capabilities in some of these places. And so what I recommend, this is how I think I got sick, is avoid buffets if you can. And eat piping hot food if you can. If the water's been boiled, the food's piping hot, it's unlikely you're going to get sick. If you have a buffet that doesn't look like it's that well refrigerated in a very hot, humid environment, you're putting yourself at a higher risk. Okay. Sudden onset of mild cramps, loose stools, severe abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea. You can avoid it also by using alcohol-based hand cleaners, freshly cooked and served in piped hot food, as I mentioned. Avoid things that are associated with non-potable water, like fruit juices, ice, milk. And another thing that most people don't realize is if you actually take Pepto-Bismol daily, it can help prevent it. So that's another tip you can pass on to patients or the travelers. Taking Pepto-Bismol can be actually preventative. It can actually be curative in some manners. It has some antimicrobial properties. Whether or not lactobacillus or Saccharomyces probiotics will help, it's inconclusive. Prophylactic antibiotics used to be a way that people would take ciprofloxacin during their trip. It's generally discouraged. It increases antimicrobial resistance. Treatment is with ciprofloxacin for about 3 days. You may be able to get with less. Depends on where you're going. There's some parts of Southeast Asia. You may want to consider using azithromycin 1 gram PO times 1 instead, because that's actually going to help prevent or alleviate the resistance issues that are accumulated with fluoroquinolones. Anti-motility agents are okay, like loperamide. Oral rehydration therapy is rare. Children, you'd have to consider this more often, and most people don't need to be rehydrated aggressively with oral rehydration salts if they're healthy adult. So